Gary, is your investment advisor largely recommending proprietary products? Does your account have hidden fees? Tired of being told that there's an account minimum and you don't meet that requirement? Bow Dollar Wealth Management believes you owe it to yourself to see what working with an independent investment advisor that acts in your best interest all the time is like, and the difference that can make for your financial future.
Well, I get dressed, brush my teeth, brush my hair, make my bed, and take care of my cat. Then get on the van, and then they drop the people off there, then I come to work.
Project Search is a program about offering hope to folks who want to aspire to more than what their current situation affords them.
And this is St. Mary's.
What may seem menial and mundane to some is very fulfilling and very enriching to others.
I do Kate lab. So I take the little basket, take it all the way up to the second floor, drop that off, then go back, wash my hands, and give it back to them.
There's not a morning that she's not come in without a smile on her face and wanting to know what she can do to help. She's very meticulous and pays attention to detail. There are certain things that she brings to the table that is very helpful for us, and I think that's very rewarding for her just as well as rewarding for us.
I go around campus picking up trash because I'm an outdoor person, and I clean wheelchairs, take patients where they need to go.
I wipe down tables, I sweep the floors, I dust the ledges, and I mop sometimes.
I am a specialist in the employment field, and I work specifically with adults with disabilities. St. Mary's has definitely allowed so many opportunities for these guys that would have never happened in any other program. They've definitely been super proud of the interns that we've gotten here. Our interns, they work beautifully together. We have different types of disabilities that we work with, but they do not let that affect their daily life whatsoever. They're so awesome. They have overcome so much, and this program is allowing them to build their confidence, to get jobs in the community, and allowing the community to actually accept persons with disabilities.
Those folks being here in our four walls connects us every day in a real way to our mission, and that's to bring health to life through people caring for people. My hope is that they find gainful employment and that they become ambassadors for the program to future classes that might enter into our walls here.
Well, my plan is having a good job. Project Search helps me feel like I can do something in life and become independent in life.
Project Search means a lot to me because it's helping me have a better success in my jobs in the future.
I love St. Mary's and the employees. It's like a home, it's like a family.
Without St. Mary's Regional Medical Center being our host for Project Search, we wouldn't be here at all today.
My name is Billy Newton. I am owner of Newton's Pharmacy. I also own the Old Bank Sports Grill in downtown Russellville. First State Bank has been my bank since they came to Russellville 25 years ago. Charlie Blanchard and his son Chip have been invaluable resources as my businesses have grown and expanded. Another thing that's really important to me about First State
Thanks for
Bank
joining us on River Valley Now's election coverage. Here live with me now is...
They always treat them fair and with dignity and respect. Having a bank that will be involved both in your individual needs and in your business needs is very important. To me, First State Bank meets those needs, and I would recommend them to anybody who's looking for a bank.
As most of you guys know, being on Facebook, social media, we just put AC out in the shop. We're all super geeked about it.
Man, we're really grateful here at Orr Automall to have air conditioning now in our shop. It's a great addition. It's a great addition for our employees. It's a great addition for our customers. And we're grateful to have it. And it's helping technicians be able to focus on our customers' vehicles even more than we did before. It's a great day.
We thought all the techs would love the air conditioning, but we're finding some of them are having a hard time adjusting to the new cold temperatures.
Hey Kenny, what do you think about the new air-conditioned shop?
What air-conditioned shop? Why is my detail bay air-conditioned shop?
I'm tired of this.
Do you have a concern if you're working with a true fiduciary? Is your investment advisor largely recommending proprietary products? Does your account have hidden fees? Tired of being told that there's an account minimum and you don't meet that requirement? Bow Dollar Wealth Management believes you owe it to yourself to see what working with an independent investment advisor that acts in your best interest all the time is like, and the difference that can make for your financial future.
Well, I get dressed, brush my teeth, brush my hair, make my bed, and take care of my cat. Then get on the van, and then they drop the people off there, then I come to work.
Project Search is a program about offering hope to folks who want to aspire to more than what their current situation affords them.
And this is St. Mary's.
What may seem menial and mundane to some is very fulfilling and very enriching to others.
I do Kate lab. So I take the little basket, take it all the way up to the second floor, drop that off, then go back, wash my hands, and give it back to them.
There's not a morning that she's not come in without a smile on her face and wanting to know what she can do to help. She's very meticulous and pays attention to detail. There are certain things that she brings to the table that is very helpful for us, and I think that's very rewarding for her just as well as rewarding for us.
I go around campus picking up trash because I'm an outdoor person, and I clean wheelchairs, take patients where they need to go.
I wipe down tables, I sweep the floors, I dust the ledges, and I...
Welcome inside the Orr Automall Studios for the very first ever live election coverage here. Brad, I'm Mark Freeman. This is Brad Caldwell, by the way. We're going to be enjoying ourselves tonight and giving not football information for those that are watching River Valley Touchdowns throughout the weeks. We're going to be giving the latest and up-to-date information on the things that are going on in politics throughout the state, and namely Pope, Johnson, and Yale counties.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for us, sports heads, it's not quite
we're a little out of our league.
Yeah,
huh?
It's not quite as important as what's going on tonight. We're watching local, but we're also keeping an eye on the national stuff as well. Try to keep you up to date on what's going on, both on the local level and the national level, as we'll be giving updates throughout the night.
Absolutely. Wanted to say thank you to those who've made that possible. You've seen Bow Dollar Wealth Management here, who is our title sponsor tonight. We appreciate Bo and his investment in this. He noticed how important it was to give this news coverage. And as always, River Valley Now, we're all about supporting local businesses and these local businesses who help keep news free to you forever. So we appreciate Bo. We appreciate Orr Automall for allowing us to have the space to do this show tonight. Also, our friends TJ Posey, St. Mary's, the Pro Team Realtors, the car company, First State Bank. A lot of folks, Brad, who've jumped on board. A lot of folks who are investing in community.
And they're all pitching in. They're all pitching in to help us to bring the coverage to them. And we're excited about what we're doing tonight. And I feel like that the people here will get a little bit more for what they bargained for tonight.
Yeah, I think you're gonna enjoy what you get tonight. We've got a few interviews that we've already canned with some folks who came by the studio earlier, and you'll get to hear from Chris Olson and Nathan George. You're about to hear from State Senator Breanne Davis, and you're going to get to hear about all the issues that are still on the ballot, all the races that are going on in Pope, Johnson, and Yell counties as the polls closed 14 minutes ago here as of right now. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to visit with Breanne Davis, and then we're going to go on from there, and we're going to hit these highlights as soon as we get results. So stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Your little superhero is amazing. And as a parent, you want nothing more than for your kids to be safe, eat right, and grow up happy and healthy. That's why when your children face a strong-armed enemy like illness or injury, you want to place them in the hands of equally amazing caregivers. Caregivers like the pediatricians at Millard Henry Clinic. Our board-certified specialists have their own incredible set of superhero skills and insight, so that no matter what your kids face, you can trust our team to provide them with quality, compassionate care. In the quest to keep kids healthy in the Arkansas River Valley, every child needs to have a Millard Henry Clinic pediatrician in their corner, even superheroes. For an appointment, call Millard Henry Clinic.
My name is Billy Newton. I am owner of Newton's Pharmacy. I also own the Old Bank Sports Grill in downtown Russellville. First State Bank has been my bank since they came to Russellville 25 years ago. Charlie Blanchard and his son Chip have been invaluable resources as my businesses have grown and expanded. Another thing that's really important to me about First State Bank is the way they treat me, my family, and my employees when they do business with me. They always treat them fair and with dignity and respect. Having a bank that will be involved both in your individual needs and in your business needs is very important. To me, First State Bank meets those needs, and I would recommend them to anybody who's looking for a bank.
Do you have a concern if you're working with a true fiduciary? Is your investment advisor largely recommending proprietary products? Does your account have hidden fees? Tired of being told that there's an account minimum and you don't meet that requirement? Bow Dollar Wealth Management believes you owe it to yourself to see what working with an independent investment advisor that acts in your best interest all the time is like, and the difference that can make for your financial future. Welcome back inside the Orr Auto Mall studios for election 2018 coverage. Joined now by State Senator Breanne Davis. Breanne, how are you?
Very good. Happy to be here.
Yeah, man. Well, this is an exciting time. I know the polls just closed 17 minutes ago, so a lot of folks came out and voted. I heard as of yesterday that it was trending toward really, really good turnout.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think there's, been a lot of people encouraging others to get out and vote. If I have seen a million selfies of I voted. So
does it
I think
really count if you don't post
It doesn't.
Selfie?
If you did not post it on social media, you did not actually vote. It does not count.
So how's it going with the new edition? I've seen you toting this baby around.
Yes, I take her with me everywhere, and it's been good. There's been a couple days I haven't taken her to Little Rock with me, and people wonder immediately where she is. I think she
is she the mascot?
She's definitely the popular one down there. Everyone wants to see her, but she's just as sweet as she can be, and so it works out well.
Man. Babies, they get me.
Yes.
I got a 7-month-old at home, so I know all about it.
Yes.
So just tell us a little bit about what's on your plate right now since you've taken office. Congratulations, by the way. We haven't seen you since.
Thank you.
What's on your plate there in the State Senate right now?
Yeah, well, right now we've been going through budget hearings for close to the past month. So we're just really, that's what we do in preparation for sessions to start.
That's the fun stuff,
huh? So, yes, we sit through and listen to every state agency and their budgets and what they anticipate it being for the next fiscal year. And so that's been good. And we're just about to, I know, sometime this week, after the election, of course, the House will get together and sort of have a caucus and figure out, leadership and what committees and stuff like that, and the Senate will be meeting in a couple weeks from now. So really, I think everyone's just revving up for session, getting ready to go. We can start filing bills, I believe, November 15th, so we'll start seeing, what people have got in the stockpile for that, and kind of see how it goes.
That's awesome. Well, that sounds like a whole lot of fun for you, and I'm glad it's not me.
Yeah.
We talked the other day, and you said, I'm kind of an election junkie, and I knew you'd be around, so that's why I asked if you'd be interested in coming by. But what has your attention? Obviously, there's big issues that we'll get to here in just a little bit, but as you plan to come and be at the election headquarters and just hang out, what are you going to be? Obviously, you're campaigning a little bit.
Yes, yeah. I have. I've been campaigning for Chris Cloud, running for city council. The Olsons are not Chris Cloud. I'm sorry, Chris Olson. We've been good friends with the Olsons for several years now, and I think while a lot of people in our community talk about what should be done and what we should be making happen in our community, I've watched Chris Olson do it. Over the years, he's just gone out and gotten his hands dirty. He his vision was Las Vegas, the half marathon, which now has been voted the best half marathon in the state of Arkansas. They've given over $200,000 to Children's Hospital. I've watched him do stuff with downtown, and just so many things that he's really just jumped in and contributed to instead of just talking about it. And so we're excited for him. We don't know how the race will turn out, of course. Hopefully we know soon. But yeah, so I've been jumping in races like that, and I'm real interested to see how our city races turn out. There's a lot of things going on within those races, a lot of different dynamics, and so I'm excited to see just how they turn out.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. We're going to have results as they come. We're going to be live here, as you can see on the other screen here, in the election headquarters. Michelle Stormick going to be live on the scene. As Portia comes out and gives you the numbers that she normally does, we're going to cut in live, so that somebody will just tell me in my ear to shut up, and we'll go straight over there and we'll get the results as they come. But as of right now, it looks like it's going to be just a little bit before we do that. So just wanted to get your opinion. We wanted this to be light and fun. We're not trying to grill the state senator when we get a chance at her, but what are some things that that have your attention in these local races, and some of these things in the state that I know I saw a video of you the other day. One of these topics on the ballot is really a hot button.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, issue 4, of course, I think is on the minds of everyone here in Pope County, whether they're for it or against it. Obviously, it impacts us. And so, the thing about constitutional amendments, I love that it gives us the ability as people to have citizen-led initiatives. But unfortunately, with issue 4, it's not citizen-led. It was all done by outside groups and outside money. And so, and it makes it confusing, I think, for people to really be able to weed through and understand what it means and how it's going to impact us. And so, like I said, I know that's something everyone's paying real close attention to, and I think that you've really seen it enter into our mayor's race,
Yeah.
And a little bit maybe our city council races, but and I think that sort of is what the future will look like if issue 4 passes. And I think that's unfortunate because we have so many great things to be talking about in Russellville. We have a bright future ahead, and I think if issue 4 passes, this is something that will be sort of at the forefront of every election from here on out. And even with the county judge's race, fortunately this time he went unopposed in the general. But I just think it makes us talk about one issue rather than all the other things we need to be dealing with. But it'll be interesting to see.
That is definitely a thought. I had not considered the fact that one issue has kind of consumed the whole conversation and made it. It is a little unfortunate for the mayor's race, and maybe it makes one person distinguished from another or whatever. But we'll see in the next little bit. And that's the beauty of it. Whether you're for or against tonight, your voice gets heard. So
absolutely. That's
the cool thing about all this. And one thing I wanted everybody to know: we went today to the election headquarters and personally handed everybody a business card, give everybody the same opportunity to potentially come and be a part tonight. So you're going to hear from viewpoints that you agree with, some you disagree with. You're going to hear from people that you're on their side of the aisle, and some you're not. And that's the beauty of this whole thing, and that's what this is all about. So we're going to go through these ballot initiatives. We're going to go through these races, and we're going to bring you the live results as they happen. Maddie's got some sweet graphics made up. It's just going to be awesome in general. But we're going to do a little bit of that right after this break. We're going to take just a pause, and I know this is going to be a little different because if you're watching this right now, it kind of looks like a TV show, but it's going to be a little bit I'm not going to talk for 3 hours, we'll put it that way. I'm going to give you guys some breaks from me me, and we're going to have plenty of time to get to the issues. I'm not going to give you a whole lot of opinion, hopefully, and we'll just we'll do the best we can to give you the news and then get out of your hair. So I hope you're sharing this and letting your friends know about it. Thank you, Rianne, for coming by and visiting with us.
Yeah, for sure. Glad to be here.
We'll
Thanks
have.
for the invite.
Hey, I think we've now got a friend, and we'll have her come back by whenever she's in town and able to. And we'll be back right after this break to talk about the rest of the races and the ballot initiatives. Do you have a concern if you're working with a true fiduciary? Is your investment advisor largely recommending proprietary products? Does your account have hidden fees? Tired of being told that there's an account minimum and you don't meet that requirement? Bow Dollar Wealth Management believes you owe it to yourself to see what working with an independent investment advisor that acts in your best interest all the time is like, and the difference that can make for your financial future.
Well, I get dressed, brush my teeth, brush my hair, make my bed, and take care of my cat. Then get on the van, and then they drop the people off there, then I come to work.
Project Search is a program about offering hope to folks who want to aspire to more than what their current situation affords them.
And this is St. Mary's.
What may seem menial and mundane to some is very fulfilling and very enriching to others.
I do Kate lab. So I take the little basket, take it all the way up to the second floor, drop that off, then go back, wash my hands, and give it back to them.
There's not a morning that she's not come in without a smile on her face and wanting to know what she can do to help. She's very meticulous and pays attention to detail. There are certain things that she brings to the table that is very helpful for us, and I think that's very rewarding for her just as well as rewarding for us.
I go around campus picking up trash because I'm an outdoor person, and I clean wheelchairs, take patients where they need to go.
I wipe down tables, I sweep the floors, I dust the ledges, and I mop sometimes.
I am a specialist in the employment field, and I work specifically with adults with disabilities. St. Mary's has definitely allowed so many opportunities for these guys that would have never happened in any other program. They've definitely been super proud of the interns that we've gotten here. Our interns, they work beautifully together. We have different types of disabilities that we work with, but they do not let that affect their daily life whatsoever. They're so awesome. They have overcome so much, and this program is allowing them to build their confidence, to get jobs in the community, and allowing the community to actually accept persons with disabilities.
Those folks be
Welcome back to continuing coverage of midterm elections here in the Orr Automall studios here on River Valley Now. Brad, we're going to get these results to you as quickly as we possibly can. We're getting some audio issues from the stream going back and forth between the election headquarters and here, so we apologize if you're not able to hear. We're not able to hear either, so we're going to very quickly have the numbers sent to us, and we'll be able to read you what has come on with the early voting numbers. So it's at least now, Brad, we know we have some numbers from Pope County.
Yeah, and we will have numbers a little bit faster than what you're probably getting from your local Little Rock News for Pope County. So stay with us here as we'll have these in just a moment. But some of these things, Mark, that are big ticket issues, we're about to give you some numbers, such as the casino issue, local control issue, those sort of things. The Russellville mayor issue. We're gonna have all of those here very shortly.
Well, it looks like a full house there in the election headquarters, and Michelle will get us some numbers here pretty soon, and we'll have those sent to us as quickly as we possibly can, and we'll share those with you as well. Just to let you know some of the issues that are on the ballot, obviously I think you probably know most of them. Issue 2, which is going to require a voter photo identification to vote, and then Issue 4, we've mentioned the casino issue, the gambling issue here in Pope County as well as other counties around the state. That's being voted on statewide. And then Issue 5 was minimum wage issue, increasing the state's minimum wage to $11 an hour by 2022. So we've got those that are on the ballot, and then the two that were knocked off the ballot, Issue 1 and Issue 3, which were tort law and term limits. So don't need to worry about those right now. But locally, Brad, there are a lot of races, contested races here in Pope County, in Russellville, and then also in Johnson and Yell counties. Just to go over those, Russellville Mayor Randy Horton, Freddie Harris, Richard Harris, Russellville City Clerk Pat Taylor and Gina Skelton. We'll tell you about those as well. Russellville City Council Ward 1 Position 1 Mark Tripp, Ward 1 Position 2 Phil Sims, Sean Harris, and Position 1 on Ward 2 Mark Tripp and Andy McNeil. Russellville City Council Ward 2 Position 2 Chris Olson and Lane Scott. Russellville City Council Ward 3 Position 1 Robert Wiley and Rick Harrell. And then State Rep District 71 Dr. Joe Cloud, the Republican, and Nathan George, the Democrat. State Rep District 69 Representative Aaron Pilkington. This is a Johnson County race, obviously. And then Eddie King from the Democrat side. And then there's just all sorts of different races that we're going to be talking about here shortly. Those are from Pope County. And then obviously you've got state races. You've got the governor's race, I think has already been called by some publications.
I think we're getting pretty close to it anyway. But, yeah, we've got all these races. We're just waiting on numbers now just to get them back to us. We will have them very shortly.
Yeah. Well, we've also got, as we mentioned, we've got these Yell County and Johnson County races as well. In Yell County, you've got a county judge, you've got a tax assessor, you've got 2 JP, you've got a mayor's race in Belleville, which I'm sure will be important to those folks out there, as well as alderman spots in Ward 1 and Ward 2. In the one we've got Dardanelle Mayor, Havana Mayor, Ola Alderman, and the Western Yell County races as well. And then we go on to Johnson County, and you've got the sheriff's race, the collector and treasurer, the county clerk, the coroner, circuit clerk. This is a big night in Johnson County as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
it's a big night everywhere.
It really is. I think about, I'm from Johnson County, so this sheriff's race in Johnson County to me is just huge. You've got Jimmy Dorney, who was the sheriff before the current sheriff.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's coming back and rerun, and he's running against Jimmy Stevens. So you've got a Democrat former sheriff running against the Republican who is coming in, and he's being endorsed by the current sheriff. So that's an interesting race in Johnson County. And then you've got your treasurer, your county clerk, coroner, circuit clerk, assessor, all these other positions and JPs and all that there in Johnson County. So as soon as we can get you some numbers, we're having some of them read right now. They're live in the election headquarters. Michelle's getting these things to us as quickly as we can, and we will get them to you. But we want to take a break real quickly, as long as Maddie's all right with that. And then we're going to come back, and we're going to be visiting with plenty of other folks and have plenty more coverage. Stay with us. Do you have a concern if you're working with a true fiduciary? Is your investment advisor largely recommending proprietary products? Do you have a concern if you're working with a true fiduciary? Is your investment advisor largely recommending proprietary products? Does your account have hidden fees? Tired of being told that there's an account minimum and you don't meet that requirement? Bow Dollar Wealth Management believes you owe it to yourself to see what working with an independent investment advisor that acts in your best interest all the time is like, and the difference that can make for your financial future.
Well, I get dressed, brush my teeth, brush my hair, make my bed, and take care of my cat. Then get on the van, and then they drop people off there, then I come to work.
Project Search is a program about offering hope to folks who want to aspire to more than what their current situation affords them.
And this is St. Mary's.
What may seem menial and mundane to some is very fulfilling and very enriching to others.
I do Kate lab. So I take the little basket, take it all the way up to the second floor, drop that off, then go back, wash my hands, and give it back to them.
There's not a morning that she's not come in without a smile on her face and wanting to know what she can do to help. She's very meticulous and pays attention to detail. There are certain things that she brings to the table that is very helpful for us, and I think that's very rewarding for her just as well as rewarding for us.
I go around campus picking up trash because I'm an outdoor person, and I clean wheelchairs, take patients where they need to go.
I wipe down tables, I sweep the floors, I dust the ledges, and I mop sometimes.
I am a specialist in the employment field, and I work specifically with adults with disabilities. St. Mary's has definitely allowed so many opportunities for these guys that would have never happened in any other program. They've definitely been super proud of the interns that we've gotten here. Our interns, they work beautifully together. We have different types of disabilities that we work with, but they do not let that affect their daily life whatsoever. They're so awesome. They have overcome so much, and this program is allowing them to build their confidence, to get jobs in the community, and allowing the community to actually accept persons with disabilities.
Those folks being here in our four walls connects us every day in a real way to our mission, and that's to bring health to life through people caring for people. My hope is that they find gainful employment and that they become ambassadors for the program to future classes that might enter into our walls here.
Well, my plan is having a good job.
Welcome back into the Orr Auto Mall studios for election 2018 coverage. We're still dealing with audio issues there at the election headquarters. Wouldn't you know it, phone service isn't what it used to be. We can't, it's no landlines anymore, but we're here and we're doing the best we can with what we've got, and we'll have you numbers from the early voting and whatever was just read off by Miss Portia just a moment ago. We do understand that there were some audio issues, but we're going to get those corrected and we're going to get those numbers for you as quickly as we possibly can. We're joined now by Mr. Andy McNeil. How are you doing, sir?
Mark, I'm doing fantastic. It's kind of interesting getting to watch it there on the screen as well.
Getting to see yourself?
Yeah, so if my phone goes off, I'll guess, I'll know something as well since I have people that are over there.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to have some people blowing you up.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you, all the things that you've done to make this this race an interesting one and to just basically the things you do in the community in general. I've been able to learn a little bit about Denali here recently, so yeah. I appreciate what you guys are doing in the community. So how are you feeling about things?
Well, I'm feeling pretty good. It's of course in these local elections, it's really tough to tell exactly how you're going to do. But I'm mainly feeling pretty good because it's been a wonderful process for me personally. I've gotten to meet so many people, and win or lose, I think that I have a tremendous amount of positive takeaways, and so I'm really, really grateful for that. Just in terms of how you think you might do in it. Like I said, it's hard to tell, but when people give us a lot of really good feedback, and so maybe that's some sort of sign.
Do you enjoy this this process? Because there are a few folks that we've talked to throughout this who are just like, I'm ready for it to be over.
Yeah, so I actually have had a lot of fun doing it, and so there's certain aspects that are more fun than others. I really enjoy the talking with people and exchanging ideas and talking about how we can do things better in the city, or just the things that we can do in the future. So those are the things that I really enjoy the most, And so, I know there's certain things about campaigns that other people don't really enjoy and don't want to, they're ready to be over like all the signs and all the Facebook posts and things like that. But I think those just go along with the territory. So anyway.
Well, this is your first race to run in this kind of city capacity?
It is. I make this joke when I go around and talk to people that I've only been a politician for about 12 weeks, and then I normally tell a number of jokes about politicians.
Oh, Lord.
And so, of course, they're super corny jokes because I don't want to say anything that's going to offend anybody, and generally they get a laugh. But I only really do that because, who we elect is really important because they make decisions that impact us, and a lot of times those implications are long term.
Absolutely. Well, you mentioned meeting and visiting with so many different people over the course of this campaign. What have you learned so far that stuck with you?
Well, one of the things that I think is that there's actually a lot of different issues that a lot of people have. We one day sent out a camera crew to talk to different folks in the community just to find out, okay, what are your real issues? And the interesting thing is there was so many things that people came back. So there's a lot of issues. But I think the other thing is that I learned, and maybe this isn't surprising at all, but there's a lot of people that really, really care about how the community functions and what happens, and I think that's been really nice to see.
Absolutely. Well, if you're elected, what are some things, maybe one or two things that you would like to see change, or maybe that you'd like to see emphasized in the city going forward?
So I think the thing that I've been most focused on, and maybe it's not as much as change, but more focus and refinement, is really related to job more And there's a lot of different ways that the city council can play a role in that. So part of it, and maybe the more complex piece sometimes, is what are we going to do with the 1 cent sales tax? How are we going to deploy that capital? How are we going to spend folks' money so we have a return? And then there's just simple things like how we uphold certain rules, like, let's say, dilapidated signs. So one of the examples that I give a lot of times when I'm given this, this similar question is that, if we liken jobs to fish and we're going to go out and go fishing, right? How we set our hook and the bait that we use and the line and the tackle and the rod and where we go all play into the role on whether or not we're going to catch fish. And so I think it's the same way here. If jobs are fish, the things that we do, whether it's regulations, taxation, whether it's quality of life things, all of those things are part of the formula, if you will. And, you could make an argument there's things that we have done as a city that aren't necessarily good or bad. Let's say like the convention center, that's not a bad thing, right? But it hasn't caught any fish.
Yeah.
Right. And so how do we catch more fish is probably the thing that I'm going to be the most focused on.
That's very interesting. Throughout this process, I've seen some pretty haggard folks who have just been worn out from this process. I know it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of time away from your family, and it takes a lot of man hours. So
Sure.
I'm sure there are a lot of people you'd like to thank, a lot of people you'd like to address tonight.
Sure. Well, it's actually a really, really long list. And so one of the other things that's really awesome about this process is just, the people that are your friends that help you out and that go the extra mile for you. So the friends of mine that have, worn T-shirts and, texted their friends and helped me put up yard signs. And so even tonight, I've got a team of people that's helping us pull down yard signs,
Yeah.
And so, and I suppose that win or lose, I feel like, those people are still there with me. And so I think that's always a great takeaway.
Made some new friends, huh?
I made a bunch of new friends. And that's the other thing about this. I think that for me personally, like I said before, it's been a really good experience. And so, and it's been a positive thing, though. So the person I'm running against, there's been no negative things said, which I really appreciate, and they've won a classy campaign. And so to me, it's all positive.
Absolutely.
It'll be a little more positive once I get the results, but we'll see how that goes.
Well, running for Russellville City Council Ward 2, Position 1, Mr. Andy McNeil, thank you for your time. We appreciate you being with us this evening.
Appreciate it.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we hope to get you some numbers, but we're going to run through a lot of this, and we're going to do our best to give you as much information as we possibly can in as short a time as possible. Stick around.
Welcome back to Election Night 2018 coverage right here on River Valley Now. We want to thank you all for joining us tonight. We've got so many sponsors that we need to thank, and a couple of them are right here with us. We've got the Pro Team Realtors right here, Brian Boyer and Wes Freeman with us today. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight, and thanks for sponsoring us tonight.
Well, thank you.
Well, just want to get people familiar with this. Oh, before I get into that, by the way, we do have numbers. We're going to bring them to you very shortly, right after this segment. So just stick here with us. We're going to be right back with them in just a second. But I want to get people familiar with you guys. So I want you to just tell them a little bit about yourselves.
Well, we opened the Pro Team in about 5 or 6 years ago. We have 2 locations, one in Atkins and one in Russellville. The one in Atkins is behind the Sonic. The one in Russellville is at 411 North Elmira, over here what we call beside the new post office. We specialize in property management, commercial and residential, and we sell farms, residential houses, and commercial, just about anything you can think of.
Now, Wes, he told me a little bit about the fact that you do kind of specialize somewhat in farm sales, although you do all the other things too. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, in the River Valley, you can't really specialize in just one aspect of real estate. You really need to be well versed in every portion or every approach to real estate. Brian's got a great farm background. He does really good on the commercial side. I've lived in Russellville all my life. Born and raised, graduated from Russellville High School. So the residential side is really where I specialize a little bit more. But you really need to be well versed in all aspects, and I think between Brian and myself, we have everything covered pretty good.
Yeah, I think you guys do. You guys are a growing realty business here in Russellville. Of course, you guys have so much competition that you have to go against. Could you tell everybody a little bit about why that you guys should be their realtors?
Well, we just feel like we should. we have 15 or 16 agents. Like I said, we carry our share of the market. We feel like we do a good job advertising because we do starting to do a lot more advertising with y'all. We know the market. We watch the numbers. We keep up with the housing trends, from the banking side to the sales side to the rental side, whichever, we're specialists, and we got somebody. Every agent we have has a little niche in the market, and we feel like we've got all bases covered.
All bases covered. That's good. Go ahead, Wes.
The one thing that I think is pretty special about us is we are. I know everybody says, but we truly are a family at our office. When we opened in December of 2012, we started in January. We had no inventory. We had, because when you start your own business in real estate, you have to go out and get all of your own listings. You have to go get all your own buyers. And every year we have continued to have an increase in production every year. And that's really hard in the real estate market because, as you know, the market fluctuates all the time.
Yep. Well, I know these two guys personally. I can vouch for both of them that they're going to do a good job in taking care of you and your needs here in Pope County. Just wanted to throw this by you since you guys are throwing some advertising dollars at the election coverage. Why is it that you felt like it was important for you guys to get involved with this part of River Valley Now?
When you guys are doing the job that you're doing to bring awareness to the community about the local leadership and the local issues that are out there, we feel like that's important. The more people that you reach and the more people that you inform and make aware and educate on the issues and the leadership, the better prepared they are when they go cast their vote. And you hope that everyone goes out and does vote, because that's how you find out what the community really wants. It doesn't need to be 50%. You need to have everyone that has the opportunity to cast their vote, and a better informed, a better aware voter is a better vote for the community.
Better community for sure. And of course, I feel like I know that you guys feel the same way I do, that we live in one of the best communities that there is to live in, not only in the state of Arkansas, but in the world, man, in the United States and in the world. And we're glad for guys like you two to be able to take care of people's needs in realty. And in other areas, I know that you're on the school board at Atkins. And Wes, I know that you're involved in several things around the community. You guys are doing your part. And we just want to say that we thank the Pro Team Realtors for the things that they're doing with us at River Valley Now, but also in the community. They have just definitely thrown in some support. You're going to see some things that they are doing with us here in the next few months. And we did a story about your son. Absolutely. And Hunter Boyer and the fall that he took, and now he's in the playoffs, and of course that's a little bit more up our alley. But
Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights, and we're just glad to be a part of all of it. So, guys, I want to say thank you to Brian and to Wes for coming on tonight and to sponsoring us. And we just want to say thank you guys. If you guys got anything else you'd like to say.
I think we're good.
All right.
We appreciate you guys.
Well, hey, go visit the Pro Team Realtors. Give us the address. Give us a phone number.
411 North Elmira in Russellville, or 103 West 12th, or North 12th, Northwest 12th in Atkins. 968-7653 or 641-7730.
And your website?
www.theproteamrealtors.com.
All right. Thanks, guys, for coming on with us. And we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to bring you some numbers from here in the local election. So stay with us right here on River Valley Now.
Your little superhero is amazing. And as a parent, you want nothing more than for your kids to be safe, eat right, and grow up happy and healthy. That's why when your children face a strong-armed enemy like illness or injury, you want to place them in the hands of equally amazing caregivers. Caregivers like the pediatricians at Millard Henry Clinic. Our board-certified specialists have their own incredible set of superhero skills and insight, so that no matter what your kids face, you can trust our team to provide them with quality, compassionate care. In the quest to keep kids healthy in the Arkansas River Valley, every child needs to have a Millard Henry Clinic pediatrician in their corner, even superheroes. For an appointment, call Millard Henry Clinic.
My name is Billy Newton. I am owner of Newton's Pharmacy. I also own the Old Bank Sports Grill in downtown Russellville. First State Bank has been my bank since they came to Russellville 25 years ago. Charlie Blanchard and his son Chip have been invaluable resources as my businesses have grown and expanded. Another thing that's really important to me about First State Bank is the way they treat me, my family, and my employees when they do business with them. They always treat them fair and with dignity and respect. Having a bank that will be involved both in your individual needs and in your business needs is very important. To me, First State Bank meets those needs, and I would recommend them to anybody who's looking for a bank.
Do you have a concern if you're working with a true fiduciary? Is your investment advisor largely recommending proprietary products? Does your account have hidden fees? Tired of being told that there's an account minimum and you don't meet that requirement? Bow Dollar Wealth Management believes you owe it to yourself to see what working with an independent investment advisor that acts in your best interest all the time is like, and the difference that can make for your financial future. Welcome back into the Orr Auto Mall studios for Election Coverage 2018. Thank you all for bearing with us. Thank you to our sponsors again for making this possible. Let's get right to the numbers, though. We've got early unofficial votes that we've had counted from here in Russellville. Hey, if you've got numbers from Johnson or Yale County that you'd like to get to us, we've had actually Facebook messages here on the River Valley Now Facebook page that have sent us some numbers, and we really appreciate that. But we've got one race right now that we're looking at for the Russellville mayor. And this one right here, guys, is very, very big, and it's very close. It's kind of it's an interesting number here. Randy Horton, incumbent mayor, 45.5% of the vote, 2,476 votes out of the early voting. And then Alderwoman Freddie Harris, 21.1% of the vote, or 1,148 votes. And then Richard Harris with 33.4% of the votes, 1,814 votes for him. And Brad, I mean, the folks who are watching this obviously probably know this, but if Randy Horton could get up to that 50 mark, there would not be a runoff. But as it currently stands, it'd be a runoff between Mayor Horton and Richard Harris.
Well, the way things work, you know, in this, I don't know how many voters are voting in the Russellville, inside the city and city limits and that sort of thing. That 45.5%, it seems like it's not a big number, but really that's a pretty big number to have to get to 50. I'm saying right now there could be a runoff here between, well, at least right now it looks like Richard Harris and Mayor Horton. But we'll see. You know, there's still lots of things to go on and lots of things to happen.
Absolutely. We want to hammer through some more numbers as well because we've got a lot going on here. Obviously, in the city council races, you've heard from several of these people. Russellville Alderman, Ward 1, Position 2. Early on, you see Alderman Phil Sims with 575 votes to Sean Harris, the independents. Actually, they're both independent. 620 votes. So that's a 48% for Sims, 51%, 52% for Sean Harris. And in the Ward 2 Position 1 race, Andy McNeil we were just speaking with, and Mark Tripp, you've got 1,230 votes for Mark Tripp, 1,026 votes for Andy McNeil. Brad, I thought this would probably be the most interesting one of the whole night in general, and that's a very close race, just over 200 votes separating those two after early voting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, and that's a close race. We'll see what happens throughout the night on that one.
Ward 2, Position 2, Lane Scott with 758 votes to Chris Olson's 1,450 votes. So that's a 65% to 35%, excuse me, lead for Mr. Olson. You'll hear from him here in just a moment. And then Ward 3, Position 1 race, Robert Wiley, 459 votes. Rick Harrell, 480 votes. 21 votes separating the two of them right now. Rick Harrell with the 51-49 lead there early on. Just going across some other things that I know you're interested in. Issue 4, the casino issue that everybody's talking about, the hot button issue of all hot button issues. Here locally in Pope County in Russellville, the 4 is 4,521 votes against 7,451. So you've got a 63 to 37 vote against the casino statewide here in this area.
So. Well, I think that you could see things happening before the vote, you know, how many people were getting out to just get local control of that to say.
And speaking of that, before we go any further, the local control, the ordinance, the Pope County ordinance, it is for local control. You've got 8,239 votes against local control, 3,744. So 68-32.
So really not too surprising in Pope County how those votes are going. Just you had a little bit of a gray area there about people that were, voting for local control, but also voting for the casino. But at the end of the day, it really looks like, as far as our area goes, issue 4 is going to be voted down, and the local control is going to be voted for. Now the question is, what happens next?
I was just on the phone before this show started, and it looks like it's going to be a mess, an unholy mess, as there are going to be potential lawsuits and all these things that would happen if the city or if the county voted. And look, I don't plan to be or claim to be an expert on any of these political things. I'm a sports guy. I'm filling some shoes and reading some numbers to you. So please don't take this and run with it. But from what I've heard, this could get pretty nasty and go very high as far as what's going to happen, as far as the state may vote yes and locally it gets voted down. We're going to have to check out issue 4 there in the statewide race.
The aftermath is coming. That's basically all you could say about it. It will start tomorrow. No matter how this thing goes. Of course, statewide, I don't have numbers. We need to check those numbers if we can. But statewide, I don't know about the issue 4 numbers. But right here locally, I don't think that they're really any kind of big surprise.
Yeah, I'm going to go through the Secretary of State's list and see here quickly what the statewide number is. And actually, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to read you some more numbers and give you some updates as much as we've got right now before we get to the later numbers that Miss Portia will bring out. Issue number 1, which I don't have my papers with me right now, so I can't tell you what that one was. But issue 1 was which one? I'll have to look it up. I apologize. 5,375 votes for, 5,864 votes against. That's 52-48 against on issue 1. Issue 2, I think issue 1 was one of the ones. Oh, I don't want to say that. No, I'll be wrong. Issue number 2, for, we've got 10,163, which is 85%, and against was 1,802. So that's an 85-15 margin there on that one. So I'm gonna take a quick break real quickly. I'm sorry to jump around on you. We've got plenty more from Pope County, Johnson County, Yale County. We'll give you some pictures. What I'll probably do here on the post that you're watching right now underneath, we'll take some pictures that we've got and we'll post those on the website right now so that you can check those all out at your leisure, and then we'll read and recap as we get more information. But we'll be back right after this break with more coverage. Do you have a concern if you're working with a true fiduciary? Is your investment advisor largely recommending proprietary products? Does your account have hidden fees? Tired of being told that there's an account minimum and you don't meet that requirement? Bow Dollar Wealth Management believes you owe it to yourself to see what working with an independent investment advisor that acts in your best interest all the time is like, and the difference that can make for your financial future.
Well, I get dressed, brush my teeth, brush my hair, make my bed, and take care of my cat. Then get on the van, and then they drop the people off there, then I come to work.
Project Search is a program about offering hope to folks who want to aspire to more than what their current situation affords them.
And this is St. Mary's.
What may seem menial and mundane to some is very fulfilling and very enriching to others.
I do Kate Lab. So I take the little basket, take it all the way up to the second floor, drop that off, then go back, wash my hands, and give it back to them.
There's not a morning that she's not come in without a smile on her face and wanting to know what she can do to help. She's very meticulous and pays attention to detail. There are certain things that she brings to the table that is very helpful for us, and I think that's very rewarding for her just as well as rewarding for us.
I go around campus picking up trash because I'm an outdoor person, and I clean wheelchairs, take patients where they need to go.
I wipe down tables, I sweep the floors, I dust the ledges, and I mop sometimes.
I am a specialist in the employment field, and I work specifically with adults with disabilities. St. Mary's has definitely allowed so many opportunities for these guys that would have never happened in any other program. They've definitely been super proud of the interns that we've gotten here. Our interns, they work beautifully together. We have different types of disabilities that we work with, but they do not let that affect their daily life whatsoever. They're so awesome. They have overcome so much, and this program is allowing them to build their confidence, to get jobs in the community, and allowing the community to actually accept persons with disabilities.
Those folks being here in our four walls connects us every day in a real way to our mission, and that's to bring health to life through people caring for people. My hope is that they find gainful employment and that they become ambassadors for the program to future classes that might enter into our walls here.
Well, my plan is having a good job. Project Search helps me feel like I can do something in life and become independent in life.
Project Search means a lot to me because it's helping me have a better success in my jobs in the future.
I love St. Mary's and the employees. It's like a home, it's like a family.
Without St. Mary's Regional Medical Center being our host for Project Search, we wouldn't be here at all today.
Welcome back inside the Orr Auto Mall studios. Thank you for joining us for election coverage in 2018 here in the midterm elections. Brad, it's been hot and heavy the last few minutes with the information coming in. Appreciate everybody who's sending us notes and sending us results. I've got unofficial word from Dardanelle. I don't want to confirm anything here, but I'm seeing people talking about Jimmy Witt potentially being the Dardanelle mayor. So I will see if that's true or not. We'll find out and go forward. If you know, let us know. We haven't heard anything from Yale County yet. We've just barely been able to get a grasp on Pope County. So, Brad, we were talking about issue 4, which is the casino issue, and it's the hot button across the entire state right now, especially here locally in Pope County. And we've got some numbers here, breaking news across the wire here from the Secretary of State's website, with only 6% of the state reporting, but 258,000 votes. You've got 53% or 52% for casinos being allowed in these counties and 47% against. So if you're looking at votes, it's a difference of about 13,000 votes across the state out of 258,000.
So obviously it's split issue for sure.
Yeah.
Has been across the state. I know that Breanne Davis put something out there about basically, about voting for it. If you're not in her backyard, and how that there's a lot of people that don't want it in their backyard, but hey, if it's in Russellville, it's okay. So that's kind of what you're seeing. You're seeing the Pope County vote is turning out and they're voting against it, but the state is voting for it.
It's a little closer than I expected, though. I expected that the rest of the state would say, well, sure, I don't care. Let's just go ahead and do it so we can have some fun and go to Pope County and do it. As far as statewide issues go, the ones that we mentioned, 1 and 3, are off the ballot. So issues 2, 4, and 5 are the ones that were left on the ballot. Issue 2 is the voter ID law, and for the state right now, you've got 76% for, 23 and almost 24% against, so 200,000 votes for and 61,000 against. Looks like issue 2 is going to pass. And then issue 5, an act to increase the Arkansas minimum wage. We have 4 votes, 69% to 31% against, so 182,000 votes for to 83,000 votes against. It looks like the minimum wage will be increasing as well.
It looks like that as well. It's a little surprising to me, but the people get a chance to vote. This is what democracy is all about.
Yeah.
And that is it looks like the people are speaking right now.
Well, that's what we want. That's what we want. We want the people to speak. So early and absentee voting here in Russellville and Pope County. We're going to give you some more of this information. Maddie, I don't know which ones it was. It's already slipped my mind which ones you said you wanted to show us. So if you will, just go ahead with them, and we will talk about these races that we've got. We're making graphics as we speak and as as we go. And, you see these things on TV and you see teams of people working on this, and not the producer who's actually pushing the buttons to get you and I on the air, actually doing that as well. So we appreciate you bearing with us. We appreciate Matty. He is working his fingers to the bone back there. So we'll have that information here pretty soon, and we'll get you the local races and those things that are going on. I want to read some of these that we didn't quite get to here in, well, there it is. There's the issue of Constitutional Amendment Issue 2, which was the voter ID. Appreciate Maddie for getting that. 76% for, 24% against. These kind of things can scroll through on the screen while we talk about these other races. But here locally, I know that there were some other folks that were interested in other races. We had State Rep District 71. We visited with Nathan George here just a bit ago. Dr. Joe Cloud with 3,835 votes early and absentee, 67% to 33% for Nathan George, 1,897 votes. So that's your number there in the District 71 state rep race. And then over in Johnson County in District 69, Representative Aaron Pilkington, and I guess he comes into the London area, he had 532 votes to 140 for Eddie King, so he's got a comfortable 80-20 lead there in that state representative District 69 race to maintain his seat. So the rest of these state races, we really don't have time to get to the state races aside from the governor. It looks like Asa Hutchinson will remain the governor, and we will get into as many of those as we possibly can, but we want to really get you the local stuff that you're interested in. Let's start with the Justice of the Peace races here locally and Circuit Clerk. The Circuit Clerk here in Pope County, David Vance with 3,146 votes to 8,816 votes for Rachel Ortling. Is that how you say her name? Excuse me if I said it wrong. Right. Justice of the Peace District 1, you've got Tackany Evans with 68 votes and J.P. Philip Haney with 511 votes. Sorry, there's a little glare here on this. And then JP District 4, Rita Chandler with 291 votes, and Justice of the Peace, current Justice of the Peace Reuben Brown, 381 votes. So that's 43-57 in favor of Brown. And then the JP District 6 race, you've got Jamie Jackson with 691 votes to Kerry Metz's 154, 79-21 in that one in favor of Jackson. And then as we go to the Crow Mountain East Constable, C. Drew Manson, 157 votes. Kenny Lovelace, 45 votes there in that one. Skipping over to the Russellville City Clerk, Patricia Taylor with 1,390 votes, which is 37%. Gina Skelton with the rest there, 64%, 3,356 votes. Gina Skelton looks to be in a commanding lead there. Russellville Mayor, as we mentioned, Randy Horton, the current mayor, incumbent here with 2,476 votes, or 45.5% of that one. Brad, it looks like that one's going to be a runoff because Freddie Harris with 1,148, now these are early and absentee votes, and Richard Harris with 1,814 votes. If you'd asked people kind of off the record, this looks a lot like what I expected. Don't know anything about what's going to happen going forward, but it looks like we're heading toward a runoff. But that's an interesting little graphic there.
Yeah, still got time to go. It's hard to say yes for sure, but I do agree with the trend. It looks like that you may have a runoff here. But, there's still a lot of night left, and we're going to be here with it until we can figure it out.
Absolutely. Pea Ridge Constable, Jesse Eaton with 13 votes to Greg Nelson's 69, and Danny Darter has 47% of the votes. So it looks like Greg Nelson with the lead there in the Pea Ridge Constable race. Atkins Mayor, Michael Hearn with 58 votes, and Rowdy Sweet, 284 votes it appears, so 83% there for Rowdy Sweet in Atkins. Looks like Rowdy Sweet may be your next Atkins Mayor.
It looks like that, and I don't.
You live in Atkins.
I do live in Atkins. I do. I don't know a lot about that race, but yes, it does look like Sweet will be the one.
Pottsville Mayor Jerry Williams has a 133 vote total. Brian Duval has 153 votes, and Randy Tankersley has 176 votes. That one right there is very close. 133, 153, 176. All of them separated by 43 votes. that's a very close race. So again, Tankersley in the lead there, Duval just 20 votes behind, and Mayor Jerry Williams just 20 votes behind him in the Pottsville mayor race. That's one to be paying attention to going forward. And in the Alderman Ward 2 Position 1 race in Pottsville, Lloyd Callan with 164 votes and Kevin Burnham with 289, so 64-36 in favor of Burnham there. And then as we move on, I want to see if we got another page here of early vote and absentee. Russellville Alderman Ward 1 Position 2, Alderman Phil Sims, 575 votes, that's 48%. 620 votes for Sean Harris, that's 52%. So that's a very close one right there in the early vote. And then, as we mentioned just before, Ward 2, Position 1 in the Russellville Alderman City Council race, the incumbent Mark Tripp with 1,230 votes, and Andy McNeil with 1,026. So 200 votes separating those two early on in this one. Russellville Alderman Ward 2, Position 2, Lane Scott with 758 votes to Chris Olson's 1,450. So looks like a Chris Olson with double the votes of Lane Scott. Maddie, I don't know if you've got it queued up, but we could show our conversation earlier today with Mr. Chris Olson at your your leisure whenever you're able to make that happen. But we've got a lot of different races across Pope Johnson and Yell County that we're paying attention to, and more that we'll hit.
Let me throw this
soon
at you right now off of the Secretary of State's office. Congressman Steve Womack is leading right now with 60,566 votes over Democrat Josh Mahoney in U.S. Congress District 3. That's one of our local area guys.
Okay. I just saw that there was an update to it was 8% instead of 6% that we're reporting now, and the numbers are about the same on the local issues, including issue 4, which is the casino license. So it's looking very, very similar to what it was once before. It actually is locally, the statewide, obviously the state is still voting for it, and locally here in Pope County is against. But we'll have more information on those as those numbers are released. Maddie, if you can get it queued up at some point, we'll visit. We'll play our visit with Chris Olson as he leads in his race there for city council spot. So, man, Brad, there's a lot to do, a lot that's already been done. We're going to take a break, just step away for a moment. When we come back, you'll hear from Chris Olson, and we'll have live results as they are released.
Tired campaign trail, boy, it'll wear you down a little bit, but it's been fun.
Well, I was wondering how have you enjoyed the process? What's it been like for you? You ever done anything similar to this?
I haven't, man. This is there's a lot of things I've done. I've between nonprofits, running, Ironman, business-wise, Army. I mean, I've had a lot of life experiences, but this one might take the cake. It's been real good getting to know the people in Ward 2 and seeing some serious problems and issues we've had. But I'm looking forward to hopefully getting around the table and finding some or getting some results.
Well, the one question that I did want to ask, about the process itself, I wanted to know a little bit. Obviously, it's not easy. It's not for everybody. But what have you learned, and what have you taken from this process?
Sure. Well, one thing I've learned is that everybody's voting for you, they say. But no, that's it's been really neat getting to know personalities and really getting in there and getting their thoughts, because you don't really, on a day-to-day basis, talk to people about drainage or about street signs or traffic problems or whatever the issues are at the time. So really getting to hear their thoughts and where they stand on things, you start to realize that, or I have, the biggest eye-opener to me is that not everybody thinks like me, which has been really enlightening. So I'm able to take a whole bunch of information and put it together so that I can develop my own opinion.
Well, in that vein, from listening to the people, and obviously you would be a representative of those people, what do you think are the most important things you'd like to change or to emphasize if you're elected?
Oh man, that's a tough one. There's so much stuff on the table, so many things moving forward. We've talked about. I think we need to fix and address the issues as it pertains to, like I said, drainage and streets and issues like that. But I really want to move and try and be on the forward leading edge as compared to other communities and towns when it comes to fiber optics or digital, whatever the thing is. If it's a Parks and Rec program, then what's the new Parks and Rec for millennials? Where are we going? And really trying to be on the front edge instead of reacting to everything.
Has the Russ Vegas half, you think that's done a lot for you as far as getting you prepared for this kind of thing?
I do. Dealing with the public is an interesting thing. You got to be delicate in how you answer questions and how you got to really think about all aspects of a decision. And I think that's going to bode well with me moving forward. Is really taking in all aspects of it. That part it's been a 5 years in training deal, and I feel like I'm there now to where I can be in the public eye.
Well, we know that there's some big issues that are being tossed about, and obviously some big issues on the ballot tonight. But are there any big issues you see coming down the pike for Russellville, things that you think you might want to get out ahead of, or things that you think we need to address?
I don't. Let me say that again. I do feel like there is a bunch of stuff coming up. I don't know exactly which ones. And the reason I say that is I feel like we need to know where we're going as a community. Because if you don't know where you're going, you're going to get off on the wrong trail. And so if we can figure out, get together as a group, find out exactly what our destination is going to be, then we can make all our decisions around that. Because if we've just got this decision and that decision going on all the time, then yeah, we've got some good things going, but are they leading us to where we need to go? And that's what I want to figure out, is where we're going.
Sort of a master plan.
That's exactly right.
Okay. Well, I know this is a taxing process. This is a long thing, long hours away from the family. So sure. I know there are probably some people you want to address, some people you might want to thank, some people sure. that you want to speak to.
Absolutely. The support's been great. All my friends and family. My family has really taken a toll, and I'm looking forward to getting back in the groove of, taking to school and picking up from school and nights at home and movie night on the couch and all that stuff. And then obviously, everything, got to thank God for everything. Without him, I wouldn't have the pedestal that I'm on to be able to do and have the option to do what I'm doing right now.
Absolutely. So. All right, well, this is Chris Olson running for Ward 2, Position 2. Obviously now polls are closed, and it's all uphill from here, downhill, however you want to call it. But we appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for helping us to learn a little bit about you and just to meet you this evening. So sure. You guys, we'll be back right after this. Welcome back into continued live coverage of midterm election 2018 here in the Orr Auto Mall studios. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors who are making this possible. You see Bo Dollar Wealth Management. Give him a shot at your business. All the other ones who are making this possible, we thank you guys all for being a part. We've got St. Mary's, we've got First State Bank, we've got TJ Posey with River Valley Realty. We'll tell you about him here in just a little bit. Pro Team, we've got all these different folks who are jumping on, the car company, yes. All these folks who are making this possible. We've got some numbers for you, though, from the Clarksville and Johnson County races. These are some very interesting numbers early on, early voting and in absentee. There's a mayor's race in Clarksville, 2-man, 1-woman race. Tom Cogan with a 604, 450 to 392 vote lead. So Tom Cogan with 604, David Reeder with 450, and Dana Snyder with 392 votes. So Tom Cogan with the lead there, a long-time Clarksville stable there. He's been there for a long time. He's done a lot of things in the community, and obviously people have sort of rewarded him with their vote. And scrolling back through here, thank you to Kicks 106, our our content partner for sharing this information with us. Johnson County Treasurer, the Treasurer Collector Lita Willis, 2,637 votes to Amy Pitts, 1,549. So Lita Willis with the lead. And in the sheriff's race, you had, as I mentioned, Brad, earlier, Jimmy Stevens running for the first time, 2,593 votes to the former sheriff, the sheriff before this past sheriff, the current sheriff, Larry Jones, 1,596. So 2,593 for Jimmy Stevens, 1,596 for Jimmy Dorney. I guarantee you this, Jimmy is going to win tonight.
One way or the other.
In the Clarksville Sheriff's race. Jimmy Stevens with the lead right now. Johnson, that was a corny joke, I know. You don't even have to tell me. Johnson County Coroner Tim Holt with 1,855 votes, and current coroner Pam Pledger Cogan, 2,332, so about a 500 vote lead there for Cogan. In Johnson County Clerk, Michelle Frost, 2,541 votes to Deborah Dickerson, 1,646, so about a 900 vote difference there in favor of Frost. Johnson County Circuit Clerk, Monica King with 2,100 votes, and current Circuit Clerk Alicia Nowotny Stewart, 2,078. So that is a difference of 22 votes right now.
Wow.
In that race. That one's an interesting one as well. Johnson County Assessor Misty Graham, 1,840 votes. Current Assessor Jill Stumbaugh Tate, 2,339, so about a 500 vote difference there in the county assessor race in favor of Jill Tate. Justice of the Peace Position 2, David Graves, 181 votes. Paula Ober, 258. That's a lead there of about 70 votes for Paula Ober, and that's an interesting one there because both of those people go to my church, so they sit on opposite sides of the church, and that's how we roll. We don't talk. No, I'm just joking. JP Position 3 there in Clarksville, David Wiles, 201 votes, and Van Allen Hill, 176. So 25 vote difference there in favor of Wiles. JP Position 4, Les Brown, 132 votes, Stephen Sosby, 46, and Justice of the Peace M.H. Hickey Smith, 112. 20 vote lead there for Les Brown over the current Justice of the Peace there in JP Position 4 in Johnson County. Justice of the Peace Position 5, Mike Estes, 185 votes, Jordan Mays, 140. JP Position 7, Chris Muldoon, 252 votes, Chad Rogers, 209. I'm not rooting for anybody in that, but Chris Muldoon is a year older than me in high school. Good guy. I know him a lot. I know him well. So congratulations if he goes on to win. And either way, Clarksville's probably in good hands. I'll just trust the voters on that one. JP Position 8, speaking of guys I went to high school with, Greg Dickerson, current Justice of the Peace. I graduated with him. 258 votes to lead over Katie Howard and her 147 votes, and Chris Carrier's 24. So about a 111 vote lead there for Greg Dickerson. In JP Position 9, Larry Jones with 177 votes. That right there is your current sheriff in Johnson County, and he's not running for re-election. He's going for Position 9 in the JP race. And Tim Kadjian, I'm butchering that name, I'm sorry, 132 votes, so 45 vote lead for Larry Jones. We're keeping an eye on the election headquarters here in Pope County as we're going to give you numbers as soon as they possibly come across. Justice of the Peace Position 11, though, here in Johnson County, 233 votes for former Chief of Police Greg Donaldson, and current JP Bertha Wages, 187 votes, for about a 50 vote lead there for Greg Donaldson to take that seat. In the Constables, Spadgett Township, Cliff Sampley, 941 votes to Brandon Cooper, 711. Red Lick Township, 145 votes for Christopher Dunning to David E. Brown's 74. And as we go on down the Ward 1 Position 2 and all these other races in Clarksville, I'm just going to read them off as quickly as we can. Johnson County, Alderman Ed Bradley Jr., 825 to Susan Edens, 602 votes. Ward 3 Position 2, Freeman Wish, 676 votes. Bob Reisinger, 481, and Bob Charlton, 275. Lamar Mayor Jerry Curtis, that mayor race, Jerry Curtis, 96 votes, and current mayor Jerry Bowen, 158. And in the Cole Hill Ward 3 Position 1, 72 votes for Sharon Davis, 28 for Stacy Cox. Brad, I'm going to take the day off tomorrow because I'm not going to have a voice left.
Man, I'm sorry. I had to go out and get some water myself. I had a tickle in my throat. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get through the segment. And so I definitely couldn't have done what you just did. But lots of numbers that you're throwing out. Guys, you really have to be listening to especially in Johnson and Yale counties. You got to be listening to to what's going on here. We got to get back to Pope County here pretty quickly. In fact, it's coming up on 9 o'clock, so we'll probably have some new numbers coming out here very shortly in the Pope County races.
And for those of you who are wondering where the numbers are, I'm hearing that there were lots of long lines going on, and what they do, Brad, I've been able to confirm this, that whoever was in line to vote at 7:30 got to vote. Okay. So if you were in line at 7:30, even if it was down the street, you were getting to vote.
Right.
So they weren't allowed. They probably had somebody at the back of the line, bouncer said you can't get in line. So that would be a tough pill to swallow. But yeah, you got to let everybody that can vote, let them vote. And if they got in line and follow the rules that were put forth, then I agree with that. Let them vote. Absolutely. All right, we need to get a hold, of some Yell County numbers. But before we do, we need to take a break real quickly. We'll come back, and we'll either have Yell County numbers that we gather, or we'll have you the latest and local numbers here from the Pope County Election Headquarters. We're going to keep you up to date. You guys stay tuned.
Your little superhero is amazing. And as a parent, you want nothing more than for your kids to be safe, eat right, and grow up happy and healthy. That's why when your children face a strong-armed enemy like illness or injury, you want to place them in the hands of equally amazing caregivers. Caregivers like the pediatricians at Millard Henry Clinic. Our board-certified specialists have their own incredible set of superhero skills and insight, so that no matter what your kids face, you can trust our team to provide them with quality, compassionate care. In the quest to keep kids healthy in the Arkansas River Valley, every child needs to have a Millard Henry Clinic pediatrician in their corner, even superheroes. For an appointment, call Millard Henry Clinic.
My name is Billy Newton. I am owner of Newton's Pharmacy. I also own the Old Bank Sports Grill in downtown Russellville. First State Bank has been my bank since they came to Russellville 25 years ago. Charlie Blanchard and his son Chip have been invaluable resources as my businesses have grown and expanded. Another thing that's really important to me about First State Bank is the way they treat me, my family, and my employees when they do business with me. They always treat them fair and with dignity and respect. Having a bank that will be involved both in your individual needs and in your business needs is very important. To me, First State Bank meets those needs, and I would recommend them to anybody who's looking for a bank.
Do you have a concern if you're working with a true fiduciary? Is your investment advisor largely recommending proprietary products? Does your account have hidden fees? Tired of being told that there's an account minimum and you don't meet that requirement? Bow Dollar Wealth Management believes you owe it to yourself to see what working with an independent investment advisor that acts in your best interest all the time is like, and the difference that can make for your financial future.
Welcome back to River Valley Now. We're glad to have you aboard, and we want to say thank you to our sponsors, the car company at 1101 East Parkway Drive, Russellville. Let the car company let the car company team take care of you and your car needs, whether it's buying, selling, or even in those unfortunate times when you need it repaired. They will take care of you, and I want you to check out these specials. This beautiful GMC Sierra with less than 100,000 miles on it. This thing is loaded. It has. Let's go ahead and get the numbers right now. We're waiting on the numbers to be read out right now. We'll get back to the car company in just a second. We're just there. It looks like that we've got new numbers, Mark.
We'll see what we can get as far as audio goes. Obviously, when Portia gets some numbers, when she gets things printed off and handed to her, it's all about to be business time. So they're passing those out as they've printed them off, and then she will read those out. And hopefully, the audio issues we experienced earlier will be mitigated, and we'll be able to get you the numbers as she reads them. Just listen real closely, turn your computers up as loud as you can get them, and we'll get the audio to you as well as Michelle can possibly get it to you. Thank you to Michelle for being there live on the scene, and to Maddie for also being here and producing this broadcast. Right. There's a whole bunch of folks watching, a whole bunch of people counting on this coverage, Brad, and we're happy to do it.
Absolutely, we are happy to do it. Do we want to go back to the car company real quick before we... Looks like we're working on the numbers here. I'm just going to hold it down
It can't hurt. We
Let's,
might as well.
let's do that,
We
Maddie.
do want to appreciate our sponsors.
Yeah, anyway, back to the car company. We want to say thank you, guys. Thank you to them and this beautiful GMC Sierra, which is under 100,000 miles. Guys, if you don't know the truck market today, this is a steal of a deal here. 10% down with approved credit. You can get this beauty for $425 per month. We also have a 2014 Toyota Corolla, and this thing has 35,000 miles on it.
Wow.
It's got all the bells and whistles, backup camera, navigation. It is loaded, and it's doing 40 miles to the gallon, guys. This car is almost brand new, and with 10% down approved credit, you can get this for just $225 a month. So
that seems like a steal.
Go visit Brent Tremaine, Nate Saul, all the guys over there at the car company. They can take care of you if you like what you saw. They've got a whole line of cars and deals that they can get you right here at 1101 East Parkway Drive here in Russellville. If you don't know where that's at, just catty-cornered from the used center. You can go visit those guys. They will take care of you for all your used car needs. And I'll just tell you, they can take care of you even if you don't have great credit. So go over there, visit those guys, and they will help you out in getting into a great-looking vehicle.
I'm seeing the live stream here, and there's no numbers being read, but there are people looking at numbers. So this is what we deal with in the Polk County Election Headquarters. Sometimes things get a little wonky, and we have to just deal with what we get. So we're getting the numbers to you as quickly as we possibly can. Am I a little British?
Wonky?
Is wonky not a word? I'm pretty sure it's a word. So we'll have you guys some information as quickly as we possibly can. It's 9:06 here, and we've been at this a little while, so I hope you'll excuse our craziness, but we'll have you some information as quickly as we possibly can. People are getting numbers, and they're walking around with them, so I think we've got some information that will be heading our way here pretty soon. I guess Portia didn't read those out. But we do want to say, again, like we said earlier, thank you to our sponsors and everybody who's making this possible tonight, the car company. We've also told you a little bit about TJ Posey, my friend with River Valley Realty. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up on him. TJ wanted to be here with us tonight and to be able to be a part of this broadcast. He is very passionate about local politics and the things that are going on in the community, and he really wanted to be a part of this broadcast. Unfortunately, his wife's great aunt passed away, and they were at a funeral today, so our thoughts, prayers, condolences with the family, and we just wanted to say thank you to TJ for helping make this possible. TJ's been on board with River Valley now since the very beginning. We've been all about trying to help local businesses, and they've been all about pitching in toward making free news possible for you. And the best thing I can say about TJ Posey is that he's a good man. He's a good father, good friend, good husband, and a good businessman, and he'll treat you right. So wait, when you're in the market for a new home, renting, anything you might need, there's your information right there. You can call him at 479-970-2942 or visit him TJ at rivervalleyrealty.com as far as an email address, and you can find him online. I'm sure you can go to his Facebook page, just search TJ Posey on Facebook. You can find him as well. So thank you to TJ. Thank you to everybody who is making tonight's broadcast possible. We are going to give you some more numbers as they become available, but man, what a night it's been, Brad, so far. It looks like things, I don't see many huge surprises, although I am getting information from Yell County that as of right now, current Judge Mark Thone with a 55% to 45% lead over Paul Stortz. I don't know, Brad, that there are any huge surprises that we've seen so far, unless you've seen something.
Not that I've seen so far, but we're still checking in on things. We're still looking at different races, not only in your local. We've covered some state, and now we're trying to even looking at a little bit of national stuff as well. As I know you guys are totally you're interested in the race for the House, the Senate, and all of that with basically if the Republicans can hold, if they can hold the Senate, if they can hold the House, along with President Donald Trump in the White House. A lot of times, in fact, most times, history says that a sitting president will lose seats in the House no matter what it is. There were 45 Republicans that had retired at this go around, so there were 45 seats open, and there's lots of big time races going on right now in that aspect as well. So there's lots of stuff going on right now around politics tonight.
Absolutely. Well, just to give you a little bit of information on the statewide races, it's getting a little bit. It's about the same margin there in the issue 4 amendment. We had an 8% reporting earlier on. Now we're at a 16% reporting number, and it's still holding about the same 52-48, which is about 14,000 vote difference in favor statewide of the casinos coming to the Pope Jefferson counties, Garland and Crittenden counties as well. So you've got, it looks like, Brad, that the local ordinance is going to pass, which would say let the city of Russellville, the Pope County area, decide whether or not we want a casino here. And then we've also got the statewide issue that is for putting casinos in this county that are going to, that's a clash. It looks like it's just waiting to happen. And,
you know, it's a very good chance that we're going to see that. We're going to see that come to fruition tomorrow even, you know, that if it does pass, that the legal battles will become real.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting one, and I'm interested in the Yale County races as well as the Johnson County we read off. I lost almost all the rest of my voice with the Johnson County races here just a moment ago, as those are updated by our content partners at Kicks 106 there in Johnson County. We will have that information for you as it becomes available, and as we get more numbers live from the Pope County election headquarters for your Russellville mayor's race, for your Justice of the Peace, for your city council races, these very, very important races that are going on that are going to determine the future of our city. We'll give you those as we get those available to us. Brad, I was interested to hear the way that both Andy McNeil and Chris Olson spoke about these local races. And obviously, we talked with Nathan George, and we'll play that here in a little bit, who's running for a state race, and then Breanne Davis, who's in a state seat. But the local ones talked a lot about, and the state ones talked the same way, about how some of these issues, we got to look forward, and we've got not to just deal with the things that are going on right now, but looking forward and what's coming down the pike. And that was one of the questions that I asked them. What do you see? What do you foresee? What are the issues you want to kind of hit off at the pass or kind of bring up before they become a problem? And I was interested to hear how they answered those questions. I think that they all have their mind toward the future.
Yeah, and as a representative, that's what you have to do. Represent the people, but also keep your mind toward the future and what's coming down the pipe as well. It's a tough job. It really is. You wonder why some people would even want to do it, but there are good people out there that are still running in these races and trying to represent you and your needs locally as well as nationally.
Absolutely. It looks like we're going to have numbers coming in here pretty soon. As we speak, we're efforting to get those for you. I couldn't say enough about the staff that's making this possible, and that staff includes Matty Lassiter. That's it. He's the guy building the graphics, everything you've seen. He's the one who's pushing the buttons right now to make this happen as far as getting us connected to the Pope County election headquarters. Michelle Stormont there, as always, our breaking news czar and the doer of all things. She's amazing. But we got all of that going on there, and it's because Maddie's making it happen. So I know that you may want numbers yesterday, and you may want these things this moment. We've got one person who's working on these things, and he's doing an awesome job, and I appreciate him, and I hope you guys will bear with those of us who aren't so good at this, because we are football guys. We're sports guys, and we're doing the best we can with the election coverage. And as we mentioned before, man, we really appreciate everybody who's made this possible. And I am really just filling time until we see that pop up on the screen that we've got new coverage from the Pope County election headquarters. So, all right, so we've got some numbers to read for you. Unfortunately, they are written for Lilliputians, and I will have to find these as best I can and get them pulled up. I've got no idea how to read that. Let me make this a little bigger here. That is getting smaller. I don't understand. We'll get you the numbers. We have numbers. Brad's saving them right now.
I'm trying to.
All right, we've got local numbers. I promise. There are going to be some. I guess these are probably final unofficial. Is that the way it's going, Maddie? We have final unofficial numbers. I can't get it to efforting. Can't get it to pull up here. It just gets smaller when I try to zoom in on it. Love when that happens. We've got some, as we said, we've got breaking news. We've got some local races that we'll bring you the information on as quickly as we possibly can. And Maddie, can we hit a break real quickly so we can work through this and do it off the air? We will. These are final unofficial numbers that we'll have here in just a moment. We'll be right back after this.
Your little superhero is amazing. And as a parent, you want nothing more than for your kids to be safe, eat right, and grow up happy and healthy. That's why when your children face a strong-armed enemy like illness or injury, you want to place them in the hands of equally amazing caregivers. Caregivers like the pediatricians at Millard Henry Clinic. Our board-certified specialists have their own incredible set of superhero skills and insight, so that no matter what your kids face, you can trust our team to provide them with quality, compassionate care. In the quest to keep kids healthy in the Arkansas River Valley, every child needs to have a Millard Henry Clinic pediatrician in their corner, even superheroes. For an appointment, call Millard Henry Clinic.
My name is Billy Newton. I am owner of Newton's Pharmacy. I also own the Old Bank Sports Grill in downtown Russellville. First State Bank has been my bank since they came to Russellville 25 years ago. Charlie Blanchard and his son Chip have been invaluable resources as my businesses have grown and expanded. Another thing that's really important to me about First State Bank is the way they treat me, my family, and my employees when they do business with them. They always treat them fair and with dignity and respect. Having a bank that will be involved both in your individual needs and in your business needs is very important. To me, First State Bank meets those needs, and I would recommend them to anybody who's looking for a bank.
Do you have a concern if you're working with a true fiduciary? Is your investment advisor largely recommending proprietary products? Does your account have hidden fees? Tired of being told that there's an account minimum and you don't meet that requirement? Bow Dollar Wealth Management believes you owe it to yourself to see what working with an independent investment advisor that acts in your best interest all the time is like, and the difference that can make for your financial future. Welcome back into live election coverage. This is probably going to be near the end of it because we've got quite a bit of information for you, final unofficial numbers here from the Pope County Election Headquarters, and we're going to get you everything we possibly can as quickly as we possibly can. We know you're looking for information here as far as the Russellville mayor race. Looks like it's going to be a runoff between Mayor Randy Horton, 3,106 votes for him, 2,226 votes for Richard Harris, so about 45-32 in that one. Councilwoman Freddie Harris got 1,582 votes. Doesn't look like that's going to be enough to carry her on into a runoff. So you're going to have Mayor Horton and Richard Harris in a runoff. City Clerk Gina Skelton looks like she's going to win there, 4,195 votes to Patricia Taylor's 2,524. Russellville Alderman Ward 1 Position 2, Sean Harris with the 790 to 717 lead over Alderman Phil Sims. Obviously these are final but unofficial votes, but Sean Harris looks to have the win there. Mark Tripp, 1,508 votes, 56% of the vote for the Ward 2 Position 1, voting there with a lead of about 400 votes over Andy McNeil. Congratulations to Mr. Tripp. Russellville Alderman Ward 2 Position 2, Chris Olson, 1,729 votes to Lane Scott's 913. Chris Olson going to win that one. Russellville Alderman Ward 3 Position 1, Rick Harrell, 662 votes. Current Alderman Robert Wiley, 612. Rick Harrell looks to take that one as well. And then going on to the rest of the Russellville and Pope County races, we know the ordinance that we talked about earlier for local control. You've got 12,192 votes, 68% for local control of the casino discussion. And against local control, 5,722 votes. So here locally, that ordinance is going to pass, and then we're going to have a butting of heads about the statewide casino issue.
Yes, we are, and I think that's what we kind of expected to begin with.
Let me get to the rest of these Pope County Justice of the Peace races here quickly, and then Brad's going to give you the other ones from around the county. JP District 1, Tacony Evans, 179 votes, and JP Philip Haney is going to retain that seat with 1,027 votes. And JP District 4, Rita Chandler, 615. JP Reuben Brown, 764. Looks like Reuben Brown will remain in that race as well. JP District 6, 1,227 votes for Jamie Jackson. Carrie Metz with 318. Jackson going to win that one. And then, Brad, you've got some more, including Atkins and Pottsville mayors and all these other races that you've got in handy.
Okay, so Crow Mountain Constable, let me pull this up real quick, make sure I'm looking at it right. East Constable, Crow Mountain East Constable, looks like Drew Manson, 250 votes to Kenny Levis's 92 votes, 73% of the vote for Andrew Manson. Pea Ridge Constable, we have Greg Nelson, looks like he's going to carry that with 119 votes to 31 votes for Jesse Eaton, and 77 votes for Danny Darter. Atkins Mayor, one that a lot of people are interested in. Rowdy Sweet looks like he's going to pull that, 589 votes, 81% of the vote, over Michael Hearn, 136 votes. Pottsville Mayor is one that a lot of people are asking about. Looks like that we're going to have a runoff election on that one with Randy Tankersley. He pulled 344 votes. This was a very, very close race, by the way. And
that's why it's hard when it's final unofficial.
Yes.
You may have something happen. But
there could be some differences here, but it looks like that the top two, there could be some changes in that, because 344 votes for Randy Tankersley, 326 votes for Brian Duval.
Wow,
18 votes separate those two. Jerry Williams, who is the incumbent mayor, received 244 votes. So it looks like there will be a new mayor in Pottsville between Randy Tankersley and Brian Duval.
Wow. This is getting very interesting. You're seeing these numbers come down very, very, very close. So let's look at Clarksville and the Johnson County races as the last things that we've seen here from Kicks 106. Go ahead.
Because this is on a new page as well. Dover Mayor, it looks like Roger Lee carried that 100% of the vote. He got 372 votes, and the next closest looks like was 14. So, wow, yeah, he did a good job there. London Mayor, Jim Frost, looks like he's going to carry that one, 261 votes. Pope County Ordinance 1, we've already talked about a little bit of that.
Okay, let's go through these numbers here from Johnson County. Want to make sure we hit these important races as well, because you've got a mayor's race, you've got JP races, you've got all these going on there in Johnson County. It looks like it's going to be a runoff between Tom Cogan and David Reeder. Tom Cogan, 896 votes. Reeder, 647. Dana Snyder with 553. So that's a fairly close race there in Clarksville for the mayor. Going up to the sheriff's race, obviously Sheriff Larry Jones is stepping away to try to run for a JP spot, and so that seat is now open. Jimmy Dorney, the former sheriff, running back for that position. He's got 2,903 votes to Jimmy Stevens' 4,520 votes. It looks like Jimmy Stevens is going to be your next Johnson County sheriff. Johnson County coroner, Pam Pledger Cogan with 4,055 votes. Tim Holt from Johnson County, again, 3,367. So Pam Cogan looks to be your winner there in that one. Johnson County clerk, 4,220 votes for Michelle Frost to Deborah Dickerson's 3,200. Frost will win that one. Circuit clerk, Monica King, 3,815 votes. Looks like she's going to take that from Alicia Nowotny Stewart, the current circuit clerk, with 3,589 votes. Johnson County assessor, current assessor Jill Stumbo Tate will probably win that with 4,033 votes to Misty Graham's 3,384. JP position 2, Paula Ober over David Graves, 560 votes for Ober, 416 for Graves. JP position 3, David Wiles, 392, Van Allen Hill, 342. Justice of the Peace position 4, 301 votes for Les Brown, who wins over Mickey Smith's 261 and Stephen Sosby's 119. JP position 5, Mike Estes, 362, Jordan Mays, 271. JP position 7, Chris Muldoon, very close, 356 over Chad Rogers, 318. JP position 8, Greg Dickerson, 338 over Katie Howard's 221 and Chris Carrier's 33. JP position 9, current sheriff Larry Jones, 289 over Tim Kadjian, 189 votes. In JP position 11, Greg Donaldson, 337 votes. He's going to win over Justice of the Peace Bertha Burt Wages, 281 votes. So those are your Clarksville races, your Johnson County races. Lamar Mayor Jerry Curtis, 153 votes. Current Mayor Jerry Bowen will keep the position, though, 340 votes. And Hartman Mayor unopposed, Knoxville Mayor unopposed. So we've got those are your races in Johnson County. We are looking for any more Yale County information that we can get. If they come into us after we leave the air, we will come to those. Come with you to those on River Valley Now's Facebook page.
Maddie's got some graphics again here. We'll just go over a few of the Polk County big ones that if you haven't heard already, looks like Randy Horton, Richard Harris will go into a runoff with Randy Horton receiving 3,106 votes, Richard Harris receiving 2,226 votes. So it looks like there'll be a runoff. I guess it would be December. Is that correct?
Yes. So December the 6th, I believe. I had that written down somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, it will be in December, though.
December, looks like December the 6th, possibly. So it looks like that we'll have another possibility for mayor. Russellville Alderman, Ward 3, position 1. It looked like Wiley had the edge there with 49% of the vote.
It was the other way around.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was all. It was the other way around. Okay. Maddie's pulling that down right now.
We're getting this all done as we speak. So.
Maddie, what was the numbers on that?
Which was the race that you were asking about? Let me find it. I can find that one pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure of it. Wiley and Harrell. Harrell with a 662 to 612 lead over Robert Wiley.
Circuit clerk
yes,
is updated.
Orling is going to win over Vance there. That one was, I don't know if it's 1,300 or 13,229 votes, but it is a big difference there. I know that. So that was a big win for Orling over David Vance. So
he's got 13,
that's a lot of votes.
A lot of votes in Polk County this year.
I am reading that everyone's commending the voters in the area for showing up. Eileen Bynum said that a lot of people voted in the county, which is great for our county, state, and country. I couldn't agree more. Lots and lots and lots of good stuff that has come from tonight. Yeah. So we hope you'll, if you don't know what's going on with these races, if you weren't able to catch all of that we just went through, you can go back through and you can watch as soon as this gets over with. You can I don't know if I'd watch all of it. If I were you, I might scroll toward the end and find out what I need before watching 2.5, 3 hours of coverage. But we do appreciate everybody who's been with us, and I want to make sure and take one more pass, Brad, at some of these numbers so that we can give the most we possibly can.
We do know that Joe Cloud is going to hold on over Nathan George. It looked like a 65-35 split there. So we do know that's a race of interest in the area.
Yeah. Maddie, can we do something real quickly? We're going to have one more segment. We're going to take a little bit of a break, but we're just going to show you, because we shot it. We already talked with him, Nathan George, nice man, and he did a good job of coming in here and talking to us a little bit about the entire process. Doesn't look like he's going to win, but I think we should show this anyway, and then we'll come back and we'll tie up everything. We'll try to get the information as best we possibly can and as up-to-date as we possibly can before we leave. So if we can cue that up, we will play our interview from earlier with Mr. Nathan George. So for District 71, as we mentioned, it looks like he's going to fall short, but he did have a lot of good things to say. So, Maddie, are we ready with that? All right, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to get with Nathan George, and then we'll come up and tie a bow on the whole thing. So stay with us.
Your little superhero is amazing. And as a parent, you want nothing more than for your kids to be safe, eat right, and grow up happy and healthy. That's why when your children face a strong-armed enemy like illness or injury, you want to place them in the hands of equally amazing caregivers. Caregivers like the pediatricians at Millard Henry Clinic. Our board-certified specialists have their own incredible set of superhero skills and insight, so that no matter what your kids face, you can trust our team to provide them with quality, compassionate care. In the quest to keep kids healthy in the Arkansas River Valley, every child needs to have a Millard Henry Clinic pediatrician in their corner, even superheroes. For an appointment, call Millard Henry Clinic.
Thanks for joining us on River Valley Now's election coverage. Here live with me now is Nathan George, running for state rep in District 71.
Yes, hello.
How are you doing tonight?
Man, I am great.
Yeah?
It has been a very, very long but very, very uplifting process. So, yeah, we're hitting the end of it.
A little crescendo, huh? I was wondering how you were feeling. I know I talked with some folks earlier, and it's just, this is a tiresome process, I'm sure.
Yeah, it really is. But, someone kind of alluded, one of my friends, one of our volunteers actually said, it's fourth quarter, and if we want to use that analogy, you got to push through, and, regardless of how tired you are at the end of the game, you got to make it till the zeros. And that's what we've been really trying to do, just with our social media communication and just talking to voters and being out, so.
Seems like you really enjoy this.
I do. I really enjoy the people aspect of it. I really enjoy talking to people and finding out what their concerns and worries and fears may be, or what they want to see, for successes. And everybody's been really kind and supportive, and I just really can't thank everyone enough, for your kindness and your support, because that's really been the driving force behind this whole thing.
So you've met a lot of people. You've been through a lot of stuff over the last weeks and months. What have you learned?
Well, one thing I've learned is that, just like I'm a Democrat, and in this area there's not a lot of those at least running for office, and so I kind of had a concern, it's just a stigma with the divisiveness, like in the national media, or just people have fears and concerns when you have a different point of view.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen hardly any of that. I mean, just extreme kindness in the community. And when we knock on the door to say hi to somebody, that may be one of the questions that they ask, but it's not one of their major concerns. And I've just been very surprised in a good way that people really just want to know that we care about the community. So
that's awesome. Well, as for caring about the community, I know that there are things that you believe in seriously, things that you really want to emphasize. So if you're elected, what are some things that you'd like to emphasize, some things you might like to see change?
Well, I would like to see us bring our state into the current digital age. I mean, this is a great format that you guys have here to be able to spread information, and how great would it be if you had access to fiber optic internet and the ability to run at faster speeds. And it's one of the things that, we haven't seen a lot of politicians maybe talk about, but it's coming up now. Like those are opportunities that we may have soon. We want to talk about coming up, we've got this casino issue, and we'll have to deal with that at some point after the election, whether it's passed or whether it fails. There will probably be repercussions on either side, and so that not something necessarily that I may have to deal with specifically as a state rep, but will definitely be something that we work with the local officials on, And then I think one of the big things that we're going to have to worry about coming up is teacher retirement. There's been a lot of news lately about the state wanting to review the teacher retirement system, and they have looked at it, and I know a lot of teachers in the area are concerned about the future.
My wife's one of them.
Yeah, well, because it's one of the most solvent systems in the country, and we've got other states coming to look at our retirement system to see how we've done it so well and kept it to be this large setup system, and we want to keep it safe and solvent and not mess with it. Let's not mess with something that's already working really well, in my opinion.
Well, don't want to think about things in a negative light, but I figure you'll probably stay involved regardless of what happens in this election. Huh?
Yes, yeah, and that's what our main goal obviously was to win. That's main goal number one, and number two is really to bring about a higher form of discussion when it comes to issues, that there can be another point of view, and that other point of view isn't necessarily wrong. It may just be different, and there may be a different way to solve this problem, and to normalize the idea that Democrats aren't evil, and that we have good ideas and we can work with those ideas. And I know some people may disagree with that, but for the most part, we've seen people be very kind and supportive of those points of view.
Well, I know, just to get you out of here on this one, I know that it's a lot. This is a lot of work. This is a lot of man hours and a lot of people that have helped. Who are some people that you'd like to speak to tonight, maybe to thank or to otherwise address?
Well, first, I definitely want to thank my wife. You said you were married, and you know that anything that you decide to do, you kind of bring your wife and your family along with you. And I have a 3-year-old daughter, and we have a baby boy on the way in the springtime. We hope to be having that addition to our family. And so with family, we have a very strong family, and we do everything together. And so this has been a very, I don't want to say stressful. I mean, it is stress, but it has taken time. And so I definitely want to thank my family. I want to thank all of my friends and volunteers. Man, we've had a ton of people just stand up and say, we want to work with you, and what can we help you do? And so I definitely want to thank you as our volunteers. We're going to be celebrating tonight, whatever way it turns out, when hanging out and spending time with them. And then I just want to thank everyone in the city and in the district. Thank you for being kind to my volunteers. Thank you for supporting us in whatever way that you were able to, whether that's by voting or giving money or holding a sign or doing anything to just, wish us well. So that's it, really. I just want to say thank you to the community as a whole and to my family and my friends.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to working with you in the near future. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back into the Orr Auto Mall studios. We appreciate you guys all being with us this evening. We thank you for sticking with us. Got one final note from Dardanelle, from Yell County. Jimmy Witt, your new mayor in Dardanelle. That was a nice, tight race there. The reason that I showed you that Nathan George piece, aside from the fact that we shot it, and if we shot it, we might as well show it to you, he was a really nice guy, and he hit something, Brad, that I think is very important. Nationally, and we're seeing the national, Democrats versus Republicans, it's getting really nasty. Locally, fortunately, we haven't had to deal with so much of that negativity. People have been cordial with one another, even if we disagree on something. And he hit on some things that I think, and I don't want to stand on a soapbox here, right live on River Valley Now, but I think we can learn from one another. We can grow with one another. We can take ideas and tweak things. And even if, Nathan George didn't win tonight, he's going to be able to, add ideas or add things to the conversation that'll help move things forward. And I appreciate him and everybody who was able to be a part. Andy McNeil, I'm told some folks throughout the process, this is the smartest man I've ever met. As the smartest man I've ever talked to. So I know that these people can be an asset to the community. They can help in one way or another, and they can be somebody who can help move things forward. So I'm very appreciative that things didn't get any nastier than they did. I know the casino thing was a little contentious there in the mayoral race, but I think that's probably going to be the differentiator in the two going forward. That they're going to be, people that put them on one side or the other, fairly or unfairly, they're going to try to put them on one side or the other. So that's going to be an interesting race here in Pope County and in Russellville. But Brad, I thought for the most part, people were cordial, people were positive, and there weren't any real sneaky negative things.
Which is, what you want. And I go back to what Nathan George said as well, and just civility is what sticks out. This process is supposed to be a civil process, and he exuded that, and he probably had an idea when he came in here that he wasn't going to win, but he came in here and he was cordial, he was gracious, very, very nice guy. I was very impressed by Nathan George tonight, and that's what it needs to look like around the nation, because it's the greatest part of America is not the backbiting and the scratching and clawing and the competitiveness and trying to get your way. It's the civility and being able to work together and pull together. And we see that so many times through, tragedy. A lot of times that's when it happens. When tragedy strikes, you see people come together. But usually that's been the only time. Yeah. And so you hope that you don't have to have tragedy for that to happen, moving forward. Nathan George, very impressed with the guy. really appreciate what he did tonight.
We appreciate everybody who watched. We appreciate everybody who ran clean and nice campaigns. And to everybody who made this possible, we want to say thank you once more to our sponsors, Or Auto Mall for the studio space, Bo, Dollar Wealth Management for our title sponsorship tonight, TJ Posey with River Valley Realty, St. Mary's, obviously a big sponsor of everything we've done, Pro Team Realtors, Car Company, First State Bank, everybody who pitched in to make this possible tonight. And we're going to give you the rest of the night off, okay? We're just going to let you go. You guys go have a good night. And as we leave you, we just wanted to let you know that for those of you who are just hopping on and trying to find out what's going on here in Pope County, Russellville going to be in a runoff for the mayor. You've got current Mayor Randy Horton with 44.9% of the vote to Richard Harris's 32.2% of the vote. That's 3,106 to 2226, which will eliminate Freddie Harris from the runoff. And you'll see those two going at it again up until December the 6th, I believe is the date. So we are looking for a runoff here coming up in the next, actually, I'm sorry, that can't be the right date, right? It'd be the 4th. Is that right? It's a Tuesday, isn't it? We'll get that date to you as soon as we possibly can. So that's that. Looking like the biggest news of the night. Obviously, the local control ordinance for the casino passed here in Pope County, but statewide, the allowing the casinos in these 4 counties in the state also passed. So we're about to have a big fight on that aspect. So we're going to get out of your hair and give you guys the rest of the night off, as I mentioned. Brad, I appreciate your time and effort. Thank you to Michelle. Thank you to Maddie for making this possible. Again, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to everybody who watched. You guys have a great night, and if you want to find out more, you just find us on rivervalleynow.com. Find us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/rivervalleynow, and share this with your friends. Let them know about what we're doing. Give our local businesses a chance at your business, and just thank you guys in advance for everything you will do for us, helping us going forward in 2019. We're going to get out of here. You guys have a great night. Thank you for joining us.